thoughts on the match and your performance?
Yeah, I thought I played really well. I think she really stepped up her level at the end of the second there. I thought I served, returned well, I did everything pretty solid. I mean, I don't think I really made many mistakes. I mean, I was even looking at the stats afterwards, and I thought my stats were very good. So I think I just had to fend off her being like really hot and kind of streaky there at the end. She was playing super aggressive, but I'm glad I was kind of able to squeak out that second set.
Questions? Courtney.
Yes, congrats on the win. You're a player who in the past has said that you have no problem looking at a full draw, playing the same draw game that the rest of us play before a tournament. Does that continue, despite the fact that you're kind of higher ranked now and projected to go deep? And what do you make of the draw, Jo?
Yeah, it definitely continues. I saw that Marta was in my section, Koshuk. I thought she would beat Amanda because Amanda hasn't been playing. So I was like, that'd be interesting if she gets through. I think she's really dangerous. I think she should be ranked a lot higher than she is. I think she's super talented. So it'll be interesting, though, to see her play a young Aussie who has like a lot of power. I actually watched her play United Cup. I remember watching her play last year or a couple years ago as well, who's like a really powerful game and a big serve. So I definitely still look. I like to. I think it's fun. I think it, I don't know, it gives me motivation as well to kind of work my way through that, as you know.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Just on that, I mean, because you're the outlier. I mean, most players are just, they don't want to look, they don't want to get too ahead of themselves, they don't want to let the draw impact how they approach a tournament. How come it doesn't for you?
I don't know. I think before it made me more nervous, like not knowing who I play, or like, ooh, should I look or should I not look, or should I not look to the next round? And it's like, I'm gonna see like on Twitter or on Instagram or anywhere, or someone's gonna come up to me and say something. So I don't know why I'm trying to like act like it's such this superstitious thing. So I think I just went the opposite way and was like, okay, I'm just gonna look at it and I'm gonna try to and see, see everything else that's going on. And also just not my section. I like looking at it as a whole, and I think it's fun. I think it becomes like a game, like a kind of like a problem-solving game. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, we do draws all the time in other sports, so I don't know why it's like such this like thing in tennis not to look at your draw. I don't know how you don't see who you're gonna play.
Howard.
I wanted to ask you about the 3 you're wearing.
Yeah.
Could you just tell a little bit about how that came about, whose idea was? Is it, I couldn't tell, is it like something stitched on, like a patch? What?
I think it's just pressed, was it ironed on, pressed on? Screen printed, there we go. It's a fancy word. I definitely wanted to do something on my outfit. I was in Sydney when it happened, so I didn't have time to do it there, but definitely for Australia. And, we were kind of figuring out what the Bills and the Sabres were doing, just as far as like what was the message. I knew they would probably do something, and what message were they trying to send. And it ended up being kind of the 3 was the symbol. And I just thought it would be cool to put on my outfit here. I thought it would be a fun way to kind of connect with the team, and then also just show my support, because I felt like it was a global event. I mean, a lot of people were asking me about it even here. So I think it was just something cool and different I could do. It felt kind of special. Ironically, I am number 3 as well, but that's not why. I think I saw someone tweet that. Why would you put your ranking on your skirt? I was like, no, that's not. I was like, that's not why. But yeah, I think it was just a fun way to connect and kind of, this time of year, I like to do that, especially if we're doing well and I'm doing well. So it's just a fun thing for me to do. And yeah.
Yes, in the back.
Does it feel like some sort of advantage for you to have that scheduling certainty today of knowing when you're playing where other players have to deal with constant delays and wondering when they're going to hit the
Yes,
ball?
I was definitely happy, 1, that I played Monday, not the hot day, and 2, that I had a roof. I don't know if those are just perks of doing better. You're ranked higher, you get a better court, because I've definitely been on the latter side where you are grinding it out on court 12, I don't even know. And it's going to be tough conditions, I think, for everybody. I mean, it's crazy, the weather the last few days. I mean, I think it's going to clear up the rest of the day, but I'm sure it's been tough for everybody, just with the heat and then the rain. And But, I think as tennis players, we're pretty adaptable. I think we're used to a lot of that stuff. Obviously, it's never ideal, but whenever you can handle it the best, that can help a lot with your confidence as well.
Courtney?
Jess, I was wondering if you could kind of talk a little bit about compartmentalization. It feels like something that, even when we talk about the draw, kind of conversation, just being able to go out there. I know that, like, the stuff with the Bills happened while you were literally on the bench at the United Cup and had to take the court and play. Have you always been able to do that, to separate your tennis from everything else that's going on, private life, personal life, like all that, or is that a acquired skill?
I think I've always kind of been that way. I'm not like overly emotional, so I think that helps with being able to like put my emotions aside and being able to focus on what's ahead. I don't know why, but I believe I've been like that probably for most of my life. I don't know if it's just more of a personality thing as well, but maybe the last few years I've probably gotten even better at it. And I don't know why. I feel like when I go out on court, everything else, like, it shuts off. I don't try to purposely really think that way. I'm not doing anything, special to do that. But I also I don't know. I guess I'm lucky that way, where I think tennis is fun for me. It's competing. I mean, you have to be focused and ready to play. And for me, it's just always been where I don't have to think about everything else. It's kind of an escape, where some people, it's not always like that. So I'm happy that for me, that's always kind of been the case. But yeah, I can't tell you, I don't really do anything specific to make that happen. I don't know. I feel like it's just a personality thing.
Yes.
Jess, should we conclude that some of the cameras following you around, that you'll be the target of some further exposure down the track?
I'm sorry, what was the beginning of that?
So the cameras following you around, should we conclude that you'll have some more exposure down the track?
The camera's following me around, like what?
Are you on Netflix?
Oh, yeah, weren't they supposed to follow me? Are they here? Oh, I didn't even know. That means we're doing a good job. Yeah, I think so. It's always a tough balance, how much access you kind of give. I did a little bit last year. I did more interview type stuff because that I don't really have a problem with. But yeah, we'll see. I'm definitely interested. I want to, have more exposure. I want to kind of help the sport. I feel like you have to give back. But, at the same time, we're also selfishly like in our own little bubbles when it comes to us as tennis players. So sometimes it's tough. But I think if you can find the right balance, then yeah, I would definitely be open.
In the back?
Just on that topic, have you watched the current series? And I guess how does it make you feel about what this might all hold for you?
Yeah, I did. I really liked On's story, not just because I'm in it, but I think her story is just very interesting, so different than anything else. And then I obviously like Taylor Fritz's story. I just think the way it kind of panned out with him being hurt, beating Rafa, being from the area, just was kind of like the perfect story. So those were kind of my two favorite stories. But I thought it was good. I think it's a way to get people to watch. I had a lot of friends that don't really follow tennis that much besides me, and they just felt like it was really cool because they felt like they got to know the players a little bit more, and then they could make the connection between me playing with these players, like, oh, wow, this is like really neat. And I think tennis needs more of that. I think we just need to kind of break into this generation of fans. It can be very traditional, so I think going into Netflix, doing something a little bit different is definitely going to be good for the sport.
Courtney?
I know you watch a lot of tennis. Tonight, there's a pretty marquee match for the girls with Coco and Emma facing off for the first time. Just kind of curious what your pundit thoughts are on that one. Break it
You
down.
always like to ask me about matchups.
You're good on it.
I mean, I have to go with Coco. I think she's just playing with a lot of experience right now, even though she's so young. I feel like you kind of just know she's going to go out there and win the matches she's supposed to win. At least that's what it seems like. But I know she always hasn't had the best results here. I think it'll probably help her playing at night where the ball's not flying as much on her. I don't know if that will necessarily help Emma in a way, but it's tough to say with Emma. She's only played, a few matches, and she, unfortunately, I think, sprained her ankle in Auckland. So I don't really know where she's at physically, so I'd have to go with Coco right now. But of course, two young players playing against each other, I'm sure the nerves probably come out a little bit more than they would in a different situation. So I'll stick with Coco. But like, she's my doubles player as well. I can't say she's gonna lose. That's terrible.
Any other questions? All right. Thank you,
Thank you.
everyone.